All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Chase. This is Save to Watch Later. It's a little podcast. Thank you for clicking on this video, or thank you for tuning in on wherever you get your podcasts. This is the vibe. So I've just taking in a lot of reality TV lately, just in terms of the Traitors has been on my radar for a long time. And I kind of just decided to start watching it as a joke to see if I liked it. I did, so I've been watching that. Survivor is back with a new season, and so I've been watching Survivor again. And anyway, point is and I've been wanting a couple of my past episodes, they're just so serious, and so I was like, God, I just want to talk about something stupid and fun. And what better thing to talk about than the finale of The Traitors? I only have one other friend in my life who actually likes the show I do, in the way that I do. So later in this episode, they will be joining us, and we have a wonderful little conversation about kind of the show as a whole, but mostly the finale and the reunion that we had premiering this week. So anyways, that's something to look forward to, but I figured I'd start off the show the way I do, which is just checking in, talking about what I've been up to, really leaning into the personal journal genre of this podcast. So first and foremost, I saw Dune 2. I watched Dune 1 a week before. I'm not a Dune girly, but I loved the first one. I was excited for the second one. And I gotta say, Dune 2, obviously gorgeous, all the things, but really good. And I kind of feel like it's a really important movie. How I feel about it is it's cool to see a narrative take a risk in terms of what a hero means, and the whole false prophet thing is very interesting in 2024 to me, and it's something that we don't really get a lot of. And we've been new. I'm not online at all, so I don't know what the discourse is. I don't really know how people are receiving it. I assume people are liking it, but I don't know. One thing I really just wanted to say though was about the false prophet thing. I left Dune 2, and this is not really spoilers. I'm not really talking about spoilers. I should have said that up top, but I just left the movie Dune 2 feeling kind of weird, and I was like, why do I feel so weird? And it's because it ended in a way that I didn't expect, and certain characters were not who I thought they were, and I found it to be extremely effective. And so my fucking hats off to them. It's not every day I leave a movie being why do I feel like this? You know what I mean? It really made me, for a movie like Dune, which is kind of it's just, action sci-fi vibe. It's not every day that you leave the theater being why did I have that response to the movie, and what am I actually feeling? And so it's been really cool. I just respect that. Anytime art can make me feel that way, I'm gonna like it. So that's why I like Dune 2. Those are my really superficial thoughts on it. But another thing too that I actually want to talk about was I saw Dune 2 the day it came out on Friday, at a matinee. But it was packed. It was almost sold out at an IMAX screening. And I just think that audiences don't listen. I don't want every movie to feel like I'm at a fucking Marvel premiere where everyone's whoa, yeah. But I do think that there's been a certain a certain restriction audience members have put on themselves over time, specifically in theater, but also in movie theaters as well, any audience environment. I think the best thing in the world is when people can respond authentically to what they're experiencing. And there's just a couple times in Dune 2 where I was I don't mean performative. I genuinely wanted to hoot and holler, you know what I mean? Shout or clap, because it was fucking, I was invested, and I couldn't believe certain things that were happening. So it's just sad because everyone's just dead quiet. Everyone's just watching the movie. Crazy things are happening in front of them, and they're just so audience behavior is something I've been very passionate about in the past. When I was 22, all I wanted to do, I had this whole thing. I wanted to rent out a warehouse and have actors perform scenes or perform plays or whatever. And I wanted to give every audience member, they pay for a basket of tomatoes. And I still hope I do this one day. I wanted every audience member to have a basket of tomatoes, and I wanted them to throw the tomatoes at the performers anytime they felt bored or they felt like irritated by someone's performance or felt that it was inauthentic or ingenuine. And I wanted it to be like a very like white, clean space. And I wanted to see like how much of a mess it would look like by the end of it. That's a little bit different than Dune. Like I don't want people throwing tomatoes at the screen in Dune, because we're talking about like in-universe reactions versus like a performance thing, So, but I don't know. I'm just really big on that. I just think it's like really sad the way that like, audiences have become so restricted in the way that they're able to respond to things. So that's like a random rant that I thought I would touch on. And yeah, that was the Dune stuff. Another thing, I've been reading a book called Filter World with my friend Arabella, because we have like a little bit of a little book club with each other now. It's very cute. And it's about like algorithms, and the subtitle is How Algorithms Have Flattened Culture. Obviously, if you've been listening to any of the shit I say on this show, you know that that's something I'm passionate about. That is something that I believe is happening in a way that's incredibly destructive to us as human beings. Anyways, it's a good book, and I finished reading the first like chapter, and I was like, I have to get rid of my smartphone. I have to get rid of my smartphone. I was like searching like all these fucking like, they're dumb. They're called dumb phones. They're intentionally dumb phones. Like one's called like a light phone, I think. And it's like, it doesn't have a backlight. You need to be in the sun to be able to read your screen. It can only send text and receive calls. And even that, like there's like some parameter to the texting that doesn't make it quite as accessible. Anyways, I was like going pretty extreme, but then I realized, like I do need a phone for like, it sucks, but like you kind of need a phone for like safety at this point. You need a phone for directions. I need a phone for like, if like, let's say like I ran out of like, or not ran out, but like, let's say I forgot my wallet at home and I needed to pay for something or whatever the reason, like I do, like there's a certain part of like that I need. So what I've done is I was like researching like digital minimalism. This is a whole fucking thing. One day we'll do an episode on digital minimalism, maybe. But like, so this is what I've done. I've taken off notifications on my phone, and if I get notifications, I taken off a lot of them, but now the notifications that do come through only come through as like notification from this app. It doesn't say what it is. So like I've talked in the past about like since getting off of social media, I've been like more of a news junkie, and I click headlines really fast, like keep up on the news a lot. Like that's like kind of like been my transfer thing, where like I've transferred my social media addiction. I was never addicted to it crazily, but like the way that everyone's addicted to it, by the way. But I transfer that to like news. Now I get like New York Times, like it'll be like a notification. And it'll like have or like Hollywood Reporter notification. It doesn't say what the headline is. So now I find myself like reading the news less in a good way. Like I still am keeping abreast of everything, but like I'm not like getting those notifications right away, and I'm not like clicking on them to find out what they say. Like I'm just letting them come through, which has been like a nice thing. I've also turned off the always ready screen, because when I first got my phone, I kind of loved that the new iPhone has always ready, and like it's like always on, the screen's always on, dimly lit, so you could see the time or whatever. But then it was like I was always looking at my fucking screen because it was like lit up, so I'd always look at it because it's like the natural thing to do. So I turned that off. Thank God. I have known much peace since turning that feature off. I hate that feature. I also did the black and white thing that apparently people are doing. I read about it online, and then my partner was like, "Oh yeah, everyone's doing that," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Anyway, I did the black and white thing where you turn like the color filter off or whatever, or on. I don't know the language around it, but so now it's like everything's in black and white. So it's less like slot machine stimulating colors keeping me engaged, and I'm trying to make my phone as boring as possible. I'm trying to make my phone a place where I get more quickly bored with it and just like stop using it. So I'm using it less. I also deleted like YouTube and Spotify off of my main page, because those are two apps I spend the most of my time on. Like I'm always watching YouTube videos, always on Spotify. So like I deleted them off my pages, so I just access them. Sorry guys, it's raining today. I'm sleepy. So I have less access to those, like immediate access to them, and that's helped too. I also took off my pop socket, which is I know it's like millennial or too give me to fucking have a pop socket to begin with, but like it makes holding my phone so much less fun, and my hand gets so much more tired. So by not having a pop socket, I'm like just holding my phone less. So these are the things I've done. I share them because I'm proud to proclaim it all as an experiment publicly, And also I'm proud to share them because I'm like, I hope that inspires someone out there to do one of these things, because I think like it's brought me a lot of peace. I've been reading a lot more. My attention span has been stronger. I think I'm noticing colors in my real life more vividly. These are things that are happening. Lastly, and as a transition into the Traitors chat, I think I'm an audition for Survivor, you guys. Like, it's something that I've always like kind of like since starting watching the show, which I'm not like a longtime Survivor fan. I started watching it in 2021. So only 3 years, but like I've always been like, oh, what if I did that? Like hee as a joke. But like now I'm like, this season seems pretty good so far on episode 2. Like I'm like, finally people are like fucking like, it's like the first season of Survivor in a long time, in like New Age Survivor, that I feel like people are actually like kind of out for blood and like playing the game and being a little cutthroat. And I'm like watching, I'm like, I think I should just like throw a tape out there, right? I can always say no. Like the reason I never have done it is because like one of the biggest reasons is I get really hangry. I get very hangry, and that would be really hard for me. I cannot explain that to you any other way. It would be bad. The other part of it too is the bugs, and like I'm not a camper. But then it's like, why not just apply? And if the universe wants me to do it, I'll be accepted, and then I'll have to like really, really actually make a decision. But there's a high chance I just don't get accepted. But I'm like, I should just apply, just to apply. So, that's a random little tidbit, but it's been like a funny thing to like think about. But also, here's the thing: I don't even know if they want people who like aren't on social media, right? They want people promoting the show, and they want people who have like online following. So, whatever. I think these are like all the life updates. That's a little check-in. How are you? Let me know how you're doing. Thanks as always for watching the show and for listening. It means a lot. I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's very kind, and people's, I was very happy with like, it was really, the reception on the Star Wars episode really meant a lot, because I was scared to put it out, and I was just like, I just didn't want to come across as an asshole. But I had like some friends and people like comment, and honestly, a lot of people said that they felt similarly about fandom spaces in general. And that meant something, you know, to them and to me. Like, I'm just glad that we're not alone. And I'm sure, I would assume that a lot of people in fandom spaces normalize certain feelings or completely dismiss them. And so, yes, I am glad to be a part of a mutual validation of experiences online. And yeah, I don't know. It feels really good to have that done. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to talk about the Traitors. I, again, started watching this show as a joke. It reminded me of Joey Graceffa's Escape the Night, which I'm not a fan of, but I know it exists. And it is like, I was like, it has like that kind of vibe. And it had two of my Survivor queens on it, Parvati and Sandra. So I was like, I'll watch it. And then I was blown away by how insane all of it was. It's a crazy show. And the scale is unlike anything I had ever seen on reality TV. So that's the vibe. Thank you for watching. As always, you know, subscribe, click the thumbs up, leave a comment. There's also a way to comment if you're listening on Spotify. You should be able to comment there. And share this episode with a friend if you like it. Thank you for everything. Love you lots. And let's go to Chase and Beza talking about the Traitors.
Okay. Dingo's ain't my baby.
Beza.
What?
Shake my hand. Shake a poor sinner's hand right now. I am a traitor.
A traitor. I spit everywhere.
I did. I got it.
Okay.
So welcome to Save to Watch Later.
Thank you so much.
You're my first guest. This is a big deal.
Wait.
This is a big deal. It's not. But I'm excited to be here. It's kind of funny. Yeah, the chairs are kind of loud. Okay. It's fun to be here with you. I feel like we're about to like fly a starship. Like we're sitting in our little captain
Starships
seats.
were meant
You know what they say.
to fly.
Normally we talk exclusively about Buffy on our Buffy podcast. Shout out.
What's it called?
Hellmouth Homos. If you're a Buffy fan and you like this vibe, go listen to that
show.
show.
This is so weird. I feel weird right now.
Yeah, I do too. But the point of it is to introduce you, you know, and bestie vibes. You're the only person who gives a shit about the Traitors like I do.
Literally. It's true. And I still think you care about it more. But
it's still a disease for me. But you flirted with the
any reality TV that I watch 3 or more episodes of, I will be invested in.
Yeah, you're good like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not just gonna walk out of the movie halfway through. As like an
Unless
analogy.
it's Call Me by Your Name. But yeah.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
I did that for True Grit
Okay.
with
Never
Haley
watched it.
Seinfeld.
I know.
Seinfeld,
Yeah,
whatever.
but she was like little in that, right?
Yeah.
Was she like 12?
Yeah, she was like a kid.
Yeah.
All I know is that like there's one point where like her dad dies and the guy was like, "Are you gonna kiss your daddy?" Because he was like
Ew.
dead, and she like looked at him, and I was like, and that's when I walked out. I was like, this movie's not my vibe.
Right.
Anyways, we're here to talk about almost said Survivor, the Traitors. I wish, bitch, none of my friends watch Survivor. Actually, my new friend does.
But I don't like competition shows like that. I like Traitors because it has like a little bit of competition, but like full competition I can't do.
Yeah, it's more relationship based.
Yeah, same with Love Island is like technically it's a competition, but like no one really cares about the
They're really just
competition.
competing for love.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So we're here to talk about Traitors. Oh my God, the way I keep going to Survivor.
Traitors.
Traitors. The Traitors. We're gonna talk about the finale. We're talking about the reunion. We're talking about the show as a whole, conceptually. And this also like was not like we talked about wanting like you to come talk about this show on this podcast. We talked about it a little bit, but this morning I was just texting. I was like, can you come over today?
You were raw dogging.
I know, and you know what?
You were raw
You're
dogging this
and
live.
now here you are. So I'm happy.
Are you gonna do season 3? Are you gonna do like weekly? You should.
I would love to do that.
I think you should.
Thank you. Okay.
Not with me.
Well,
That's on you, bitch.
I'll do it, and then you can come for the finale again.
Okay, great.
Okay. Anyway, rambling aside, are you today?
Am I?
How Survivor are you today?
I'm okay. It's raining. I'm tired,
Dude, this
babes.
fucking rain, but kind of a perfect like Traitors vibe.
I do think because you texted me and then I was like, I was gonna watch it in the morning anyway, but I cannot explain to you how riled up I got.
Oh, I was
Like no, go ahead.
Ahsoka like grabbed her toy multiple times because I was like very verbal.
Yeah,
it
me
was
too.
good TV.
Yeah.
And like I was like singing the highs and I was singing the lows, and I was very vocal and into it. And Ahsoka thought it was like time to play.
I literally cannot express to you like how much I felt.
Yeah, I know.
Like I was just like it was a lot and I was not expecting it to be that, but
No.
I was very vocal and like my partner thought I was like literally like got out of the shower because like are you like is something wrong vibes. So that was I felt really bad, but
No.
I cannot contain my feelings.
Traitors brings it out of you, I think. Traitors
Yeah.
does a good job of like, it's so easy to, when you love people, you love people. When you hate them, you hate them. I've
Yeah.
never had experience like quite like that on a
But that's how
reality
I
show.
felt about Love Island, and that's really the only other reality show I am like super into, but it's bad. Like, and it's crazy because it's like, I think I can discern when a person is just like a person, and producers have a lot of say in like what is actually happening, and like a lot of reality TV isn't actually real. But in the moment, it's like I think I need like a day to be like, okay, that's still a person. I should not like start a hate account, like which I never would do. But it's so crazy.
It's really crazy. And that's also a good point is like, we're not really reality TV people.
No, not at all.
We do not watch reality TV. You watch Love Island and I watch Survivor, and that's it.
Literally.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's our fucking middle ground for
I know.
Traitors.
Yeah.
Because you have Ek and Sue and I have Parvati and
that's
Sanjay.
the only reason I ever knew about the show.
Yeah.
Was Miss I Can Sue. I Can
Lord.
I Can Sue.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, on Love Island. And she was on the first season of Love Island that I ever watched, and then immediately I had to watch all of it.
Dude,
so.
when you watch like when you have like one person from a reality show who was there at like one of your first seasons,
Yeah.
it's so important. Like Parvati is that like her season was one of my first. No, it was just one of the first seasons I saw of Survivor.
Yeah. What? Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So and then I was like, and I was always like a little scared of her, and she was so mean, but like she was so good.
Literally.
Yeah, I know.
That's so. I love that we just like had our girls, and we're like, wait, I like reality TV now. I love our mean hot girls.
That is so funny.
Literally like iconic.
Yeah, those
Of course, that's the gay. That's where the gay comes in. Is like, well, there's a hot mean girl, so I'm gonna watch it. Which is so crazy.
It is so crazy. One day we'll be studied the way, not we specifically as in Yumi, but
I think we
our
should
culture.
be. I think this is the study.
This is the study.
This is the case study.
If there's any therapists watching, leave a comment.
Yeah, please help me.
Okay, so before we get into like specifics of the finale and reunion, what were like, who are your favorites and least favorites of the show? And you and I kind of assume I know who you're going to answer.
Yeah.
But
do you want me to say like 3 favorites and 3 least or what?
Yeah, let's do that.
Because then I could literally talk about all of them that I can remember.
Yeah.
Because there are some unmemorable
which
is fine.
I have a point about that, about the reunion.
Okay,
too.
well, obviously MJ is
like
queen, like probably my number 1, if not my number 2.
Behind who? Ekin-Su?
Okay.
Behind Ekin-Su?
No, because obviously Ekin is my girl, but like she just was not in the show enough for me to like categorize her as like number 1 on Traitors.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, specific to that.
Yeah, obviously I think MJ and Phaedra are very much tied.
Oh, yeah.
So good. I don't know. I hated a lot of these bitches, Chase. I really did.
I know.
I guess poverty.
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 But
I do think she could have slayed a little harder.
She could have slayed a little harder.
Just with her reputation.
Yeah.
I just feel like I was waiting for like more slay from like all of the Traitors.
Yeah. I think because Parvati's like done this thing. Yeah, go ahead.
And I love Kate.
Dude.
That's it.
Kate.
Yeah.
Kate.
No, literally Kate. I just like, I love that she was there for vibes. And she admits she's like, I'm there for vibes and free vacation for my kid. I was like, period. Me too.
I love her for that.
Yeah.
I love her for so many reasons. I think Parvati was interesting because she's someone who has been super cutthroat and has a reputation of just being cutthroat.
Yeah.
And then she built a brand off of like being very holistic and like yoga vibes and like very like, which is awesome. Yeah.
In a way.
So I think she had like a hard time doing that. You know what I mean? Like balancing like
it seemed like she was
the
very in
player.
between.
Yes.
What she was. Well, yeah.
Which is why sometimes she did fall a little bit flat as like a character on the show, but she still slayed and like I'll always love her. It's so funny because like now she's in this place. I feel like with her like online career and presence that she's like she's hyper aware of the fact that she could like have the gaze on her side online and like kind of like have the. Sometimes I think she just like plays it up a little bit where I'm like, she's like, and like they all do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
they're
all
reality
there to like.
TV star has to.
Especially when like they're not there to win the money. Because like compared to like what they have,
that's
like 200K
nothing,
split between people is not that much, especially
that's like a
for
brand
them.
deal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like they're there for sure to like gain a following, maintain a following, increase the following, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's just something I noticed with her, especially because she's like kind of again trying to balance like being cutthroat, but also being like loving mother vibes.
So what are your 3 favorites?
MJ is like my number 1.
Yeah.
Like from day one, I was like attracted to her. I was just like, she's really pretty.
She's different.
She hit different. There's like an innocence. There's an innocence to her that like none of the other contestants have.
Yeah.
And then I like literally was so emotional. Like the last episode before the finale where she like got her shield, she ran it across the bridge on the water and like got to the side. She's like, I'm so proud of myself.
She's the most endearing reality star on the show.
And she had like a huge arc that I was so mad that no one talked about at the reunion. Like fucking Andy Cohen. Like,
well, they just gaslit her.
Tomato. Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot of feelings about the reunion, but MJ, like, no one talks about like her arc. Like she really opened up and like became really confident through the season
and made it to the final 3.
Dude, she's so iconic and like watching her growth was inspiring. I love her.
I agree.
Also like,
and I will be watching Shadows of Sunset.
Literally, like yes, that's the
only
other
promo I needed.
100%. And I also like don't even want to watch the earlier seasons. I just want to watch her like now. You know what I mean?
100%.
There's something about like a woman, you know, a mature woman. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like that's how I feel about like even like on our Buffy show, like watch even like fictional characters, like watching Buffy get older.
Yes.
Like Stevie Nicks now hits harder than any other Stevie Nicks. Like Sarah Jessica Parker hits harder now, and like Carrie Bradshaw hits harder now, like as an older person. Like, so
yes, 100%.
Yeah. So we're on the same page. Obviously, Phaedra. Sandra's like iconic. And like she was so good this final round table.
I agree. I 100% agree. But like, that was it. For me.
For you.
Like, I have no Survivor context at all.
Yeah.
Like, literally at all. But I just thought she was very quiet.
Yes,
like,
but it's super intentional with her. And like, that's how she's played Survivor in the past.
She's clearly super smart.
Yeah.
Just like, it wasn't what Traitors
Yes.
and Survivors just very different,
Yes.
like ways to play. But
Yeah.
that's just personality is like more important to me.
100%, especially if you like don't know someone, like, because I'm watching her and I'm watching how she plays Survivor. I'm watching her do it again on Traitors, which she is kind of quiet and she goes with the flow, but she also is like gnarly when she needs to be. So like that's the vibe with her.
No, she was great the end of it.
And fucking Kate was iconic at that final round table. She split that squad up. And when everyone voted Sandra, I was screaming. I was like, how the fuck did Kate manage?
I felt bad for her. Like, I felt bad for Sandra.
I did too.
She was pissed.
Yeah, she was so mad. She almost started, she was like on the verge of tears. She was like mad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, and then least favorites. Fucking
Trashelle.
That is incredible.
Immediate, like that is like my gut instinct.
Just like
is
from
Trashelle.
day one with fucking Peppermint.
And we have to talk about
Peppermint.
reunion.
Yes, 100%.
Because I cried.
I did too. And like Peppermint got done so dirty. And like we talked about that like at the beginning of the season. I'm so happy they acknowledged it. And you know who was real fucking quiet during the acknowledgement?
Trashelle.
She could not find it in her to say one fucking word. Crazy. That is crazy.
But
John spoke
Coot,
up. Yeah, fucking weirdo.
Anyway.
So
I would say John's the least favorite. I'm just
John,
like, what are you doing?
Dude, as the show went on, I liked John less and less and less. He was so pious about everything, and he was just like,
Bitch, go back to politics. Like, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like,
I did not like the vibes.
No, he just was bad vibes, and who he was siding with gave me the ick.
100%. And like the way, like, and again, we will save this for the reunion.
Gave me the ick about some 80-year-old parliament.
Grandpa gave me the ick.
No, literally.
We'll talk about the reunion, but like he also was like horrendous in the reunion to me.
Horrendous,
like
for sure.
Horrendous behavior
against everyone.
But he like sides with Trashelle and fucking Pete. And I'm like, you could not choose two of my least favorite people to be besties with.
I would say Peter, but like he's just nobody to me in the way that like I feel like someone else like I'm trying to think who else did you not like?
Oh yeah, I wrote it down.
Peter, I mean, it's just like kind of an
Janelle.
easy...
I'm sorry. Janelle's like good TV, I guess, but like she's just like kind of too mean to the point where it's like Trishelle's just like self-important kind of a mean,
right?
But Janelle's like mean. Like her claws are a little bit like too sharp for me.
Yeah, I agree.
And so she just kind of, I just didn't like. I was like when she's off, I was like, oh, thank God, she makes me nervous.
I feel like it could cross as like a. Like, I just feel like a certain type of person would be like iconic queen, but like, I don't think that. Like, I just think she's just kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
but like entertaining.
Yes,
for
sure, entertaining.
But who else? Anyone in like the final couple episodes, I didn't really hate except Trishelle.
And guess who fucking won? Trishelle. Crazy as fuck, dude. If you told me cheating. Trishelle, like
grifters.
Wait,
Grifter's the house.
MJ being like, it's giving Grifter energy. Like the way that she was the way that MJ started talking about the game again, like to talk about her arc. She got so sophisticated in her, like she's a game player for sure.
She's turned into one.
She turned into a gamer. Like she's so fucking smart. I love her. What were you gonna say?
We can talk about it when we're talking about it. Yeah, okay. I just have so many thoughts on that. But I guess I would say Peter because she's like some self-important. I'm like.
He's like, I'm gonna win this game the right way. Okay, who asked? Literally nobody.
You're boring.
Yeah. Yep.
You're boring,
dude. And then like, I'm so sorry. It pains me.
Also, you're on The Bachelor.
I know.
Girl,
I know.
What do you mean?
I know.
You like literally have no right to.
It's just bad vibes all around.
And the way that they like tried to say that him and Ekansu have a thing now, that
was wild. Have you seen any of that online?
No, because she was with the guy who she won Love Island with for like since they won.
But she's recently single. So do you think Peter wrecked the home?
I don't know. I don't look into it that like I don't look into it that much.
Yeah. But it was a weird, like, it was just like a weird thing to like mention. They're like recently single, and also it's a rumor that you guys like had a thing. So I'm like, what are you trying to say?
I didn't notice that at all during the show.
I don't even remember them interacting.
I don't either. But hey.
Meanwhile, like Phaedra's like, I think I have a crush on CT.
And no one's talking about that.
No one's talking about that.
I mean, they touched on it, I guess, but not enough.
Not enough.
I guess she's married.
We spent too much time on Peter in the reunion. I think she's married. I don't know. I know nothing about Housewives. Neither of us know anything about the Housewives.
Not a damn thing.
And like,
if anything, I'm gonna watch Atlanta for her.
Yeah.
And I've heard Salt Lake is really good.
Orange County was a favorite of mine back in the day. Yeah. Well, yeah. Went to school there. So that was the vibe. But yeah, I would watch Atlanta for her. But like I said, like Shaws of Sunset, here I come.
I do find it hard with and then, sorry, we can move on. I find it hard with reality TV to watch old versions of people.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Because they're different characters.
They're completely different. The characters, people, and it's like, I'm like, would I get joy out of that? Probably not.
Yeah.
I want who they are now.
Yeah.
Which is what's hard.
100%.
But with Ekin-Su, Love Island, I think she sticks pretty. I was like 2 years ago. So she's
true to Ekin-Su.
Ekin who?
She's Ekin-True.
She's Ekin-True to herself. My Turkish queen.
Also when MJ was like, they're like, what were you thinking when you're like being buried alive with all those roses? She was like, I was thinking, what's that flight going to be on? Like the meal going to be on the flight?
Yeah, what's the meal on the flight? Period. I love her.
And she's
so
like,
much.
how happy my son is going to be to see me.
I love her deeply.
I genuinely wish that like I could just like, I don't know, go like hang out on the beach with MJ.
I agree, but like I respect her too much to be her friend.
100%. She
doesn't deserve
she's
that.
She's out
like,
of my league.
No, yeah, I just like what she is to me.
I know. She's just like she's like my Pooh Bear.
I would love to give her a hug.
I know.
She's so mama bear.
She really is. Okay, so let's just talk about the show really quickly. Generally speaking, we're not big reality TV people, yet this show had some type of grip on us. It really did, and it had me by my throat really tight, and it had you kind of like by the scruff of your neck. Is that a fair?
Yeah.
What worked about the show for you? Like, what was it about the show that like that you enjoyed? Besides the fact that it was like a better version of Joey Graceffa's Escape the Night. Besides the fact that I could picture Gabby Hanna and Colleen Ballinger running around.
Okay, but I would pay to watch that.
But then with cutthroat housewives that are like getting at them. Yeah.
I just love how humans speak to each other. I think it's so fascinating to me.
Yes.
And how, I mean, like what people love is the like anthropology behind it and the culture and how personalities interact, especially with like 22 people is like crazy.
Yeah.
Just like the energy is like, I don't know. It gives me a look into human life in a way that I don't. I mean, we all have our bubbles, we all have our circles, and like, it's interesting to see how other people would react to something.
Yes.
Like, it's always like, if something happens, I'm like, well, I would have done this.
Yes.
Or me as a watcher or a viewer would like know that this is happening, and how do they not know? Or like, I don't know. It's just interesting to think about how humans interact with each other. It's so weird. And then we film it and record it and get famous off of it. That's crazy. You're like famous for being a human, which is really cool.
It is cool. And it's like, you're famous for literally just like reacting authentically in like an enclosed environment.
For being a personality.
Yeah,
it's very
wild.
strange. I mean, I guess that's what influencers kind of are too.
Yeah, but it's more artificial in that
people.
way.
Yeah, it's more chill stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like the idea of like putting all these people from very different walks of life. Like I think the culture clash of it was super, super fun. Like even like Deontay, like shout out Deontay. I loved him so much. I was so sad when he walked away. But like what was so moving about it was you could tell every single time how awful he felt when they sent home a person who didn't deserve to be sent home. He was like the only person who felt like no one else gave a shit.
Yeah, no one. Yeah. I mean, I think, and that's why I got really upset. Not to go back to the reunion, but like that's why I got really upset when everyone was saying, "Well, it's just a game. It's just a game."
Oh yeah, it's gross.
It is, but also like it's not. Like,
it's not.
Just because you have a different, and again, this is why it's interesting to like look into reality TV and enjoy it. But it's like, I disagree with those opinions, so I feel very strongly about my opinions.
100%.
And I'm like, well, no, it's a game, but that doesn't that shouldn't negate how people feel.
Yeah,
like that's not just because it's a game doesn't mean. I don't know. That's such a like childish.
It is, and it's one thing to be
I'm
like
mad again.
It's you like
I Hulk out. Yeah.
It's one thing for them to be like, oh my god, he was like next fucking level. He's like, oh, I don't know why you're so bitter about it. When he said the word bitter, I was like, literally like
catch these fucking
I was about to like
hands.
drag him off set. I could not believe he used the word bitter towards MJ. I was like,
but again, I'm like, if someone called me bitter, you're dead. You're dead.
I know. And MJ's
Even if
like,
I am.
I know.
Fuck you.
I know. That's
so condescending.
What I don't understand is like these people, like the game players, and like this is something that gets brought up on Survivor a lot because Survivor is very much like people will play the game and but like when it comes to like vote who wins, like it's like all of a sudden people are like the emotions matter a lot more because no one wants to give an asshole $1 million.
Well, it just depends on the person's perspective. It's like what matters to me in this moment, and then that's how. Which everyone's like that, to be fair. But
but the Bravo girls and like the non-gamers got like they were like able to acknowledge their side and the other people's side, but the gamers were only able to acknowledge the game level. I was like, shut the fuck up and like for a second,
they probably
acknowledge
think
the other
it's
side.
more it's more relevant. Like it's more important to be a gamer in this situation.
I do think it's that, and I think it like protects their ego because if they lost, they could be like, well, it's just a game and I'm just here playing a game and like I played a good game. You know what I mean? But it's like, okay,
also,
guys,
by the way,
lost.
your leader is a fucking bachelor.
Yeah. So make that make sense. Yeah. All the gamers
and
following a bachelor.
Lost.
Yeah.
So could not be me.
Oh
anyway,
my God.
What attracted you to it besides it being very gay coded?
Oh my God.
Lots
like the
of gay
camp
people,
and like the very like gay people, like queer culture, like icons and like
Alan Cumming.
Oh my God. I've always loved him.
Yeah,
like,
he's great.
He's so good. And like I remember the first episode I watched between like the pyrotechnics, the original music and like all this shit.
Original.
I was what?
It's giving the what's that Hunger Games song?
Oh,
are you? It's literally the same song.
Are you coming to the tree? 100%. You're like, it's not original. They took it from Hunger Games.
No, literally.
I think it was like the camp of it, yes, but I think the human behavior, but the way that like the seriousness of human behavior and the humanness of it and like the rawness of it, the way that mingled with how stupid everything was, was
human,
such
though.
a delicious.
That's so human.
100%.
Yeah,
it's like when you're at your lowest point, it's like everything sucks, but also it's all a joke and we're all clowns.
And then there's like a sting.
Yeah, like
sound.
a little.
Yeah. So, I'm like
a little rattle.
It makes like as angry as we are getting and have gotten over the show.
Oh yeah,
because it's valid. I guess.
Yeah, in a way. I did bring my grass patch, but I think it's over there. I think I left it over there.
Well, the thought was there.
Yeah, like we're touching grass in our minds. We're
in our
scratching
minds,
grass.
yeah, right.
Which is the same thing.
What was I saying?
We were talking about it mixes the both two like it's very human to be like very
it's
drama,
good
but
because
also
it's
stupid.
like you can be in it and feel the things you're feeling, but then when something funny happens, you're like, oh, I am watching a TV show.
Yes.
Like it's fine. It's not like I don't actually know these people, even though I feel like I do.
I would go to war for MJ. I would turn down any draft except a draft like that was like signed by MJ. I was like, I gotta do whatever I gotta do for my queen. MJ, but she would never do
I
that.
love that for you.
Her war would be a pillow fight though, at a slumber party, and she'd bring everyone like hot cocoa.
I've never had
but
a
then
pillow
she would
fight.
play. But like, I don't mean like pillow fight in like a.
We gotta do it.
We got. After this, we're going straight to the pillow room.
Just you and me. The pillow room is crazy.
I didn't want to say bedroom.
Right.
Okay. Another part of it. Another part of this show was like it was literally like watching the Salem witch trials televised. Like it's so crazy to me.
That is so funny. It's so true.
It's
That's
just crazy. Like it's so funny because it's like a reality TV version of The Crucible.
Imagine the 1700s. Like what is it? What is that? What's that meme? That's like a shows to a pilgrim or whatever.
Yeah. Show this, yeah.
Crazy.
It'd be triggering for them.
Yes.
Because they'd be like, yeah, this is exactly what happened to us. And like, if someone called you a witch, you were fucked, bro.
But
there's nothing you can do to prove you're not a witch.
The difference is that we have opted in as a society to do this.
Yeah, now we all do it globally.
And watch it and are like, yes. Or like, fuck you, John. Like literally I'm sorry. I called this woman Trash L. That's so mean.
That's so brutal. We like don't know her.
No, literally, like I literally have never watched anything. This is the only thing I've ever seen by her. It's like, it is in a way like I'm judging this entire person's life on 10 episodes of TV.
And you're relating it, but this is also what's fun about the show. Is like you're like everyone knows a Trishelle, Not because we all have a Trishelle in our lives, but because are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm thinking about you, Chugi. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Wow, that went way over my head.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, clearly Trishelle. Wait, I was gonna say, what's fun about what?
Who are you thinking?
Oh, that is like a conversation for another time.
Okay.
But what is fun about like watching the show is like we are judging these people based off of our lived experience. So I'm watching someone like Trishelle and I'm relating like 2 or 3 people I've met in my life that feel like they have Trishelle energy and I don't like any of them. So therefore, it's not her fault all the time necessarily.
That's why it's like these people are obviously their own people, but in a way they are people we know. Like that's how we can relate to them and like understand their decisions.
100%. And something about MJ, like I don't know, I feel like I know her. Like I feel like
I'm your MJ. I love that. you're my Phaedra for sure.
I'm so happy with those 2. That sounds good. Okay. Yeah, the scale, the Salem witch trials. What else? Okay. What were you gonna say?
Nothing.
We're gonna say something. You inhales. There was an idea. Inspiration.
It's called breathing.
Okay. Well, I think we should talk about the finale for a second.
Okay.
Specifically to the finale. We talked about Kate subverting like the group that was like with Sandra, believed in Sandra. That was incredible gameplay and like came out of nowhere. Also, okay, those are for the reunion. Also, just the final challenge was incredible. And I love the way, again, like this is kind of speaking to like that juxtaposition of like seriousness, but also playfulness, how excited all of them, especially MJ, when they saw the helicopter coming, they're like, MJ's like, guys, I think the helicopter's for us. And she's like, final challenge. Like she was just like so elated and like watching these people who are like, it's just fun watching people have fun.
Yeah, because my first reaction to a helicopter would be fear. I'd be like, no.
I'm so happy you said this.
Like that's a challenge getting on that.
100%.
Fuck that
and
shit.
then when the helicopter did that like little swan dive thing, I was like, I would throw up and pass out.
My stomach dropped. I was like,
I literally got nauseous. I spit up a little bit. Because I don't do things like that.
No.
But there is part of it too that like I like to think in the moment I would be like, this has been the craziest experience. And like when like this is like a once like, you know, it's like you can buy into the fantasy of like, well, I'm on Traitors. What am I gonna do? Not get on the helicopter? Like you just kind of buy into it and go with it.
Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime kind of thing.
Yeah, and like I like to think the adrenaline would keep me from letting the fear win.
You could say that. Yes, you could say that about literally anything they've done. I do think with the challenge, this last challenge, I was like, I could never do that.
That challenge?
I could never do any of that. Like I think I would pass out.
Yes.
For real.
Yes.
But seeing people who like their thing is not, I guess what's his name is
CT?
Like, yeah, he's like was
athletic.
a challenge or whatever. So he was like athletic.
Physical. Yeah.
I just am like, it must feel so good to be able to like do something like that when that's not your thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
100%.
that. I feel like that is you could grow a lot mentally.
Yes.
From that as a person.
100%.
Through those kinds of experiences. So I could see getting like really. I mean, if that were me, you couldn't tell me shit.
100%. Like
couldn't tell me
you would
shit.
go home, and that's the thing that is like so fun to think about. Like, I haven't told you this yet, but I like am very seriously considering applying to Survivor sometime in the next month. I'm just gonna send a tape in and see what happens. There's a high 90% chance nothing happens.
I will take care of Ahsoka.
Okay, great. Good to know. Thank you. But I am like seriously applying. I found out that our broker also applied for Survivor.
Oh no, you told me that.
Okay, good. And I basically this week's episode was so good, and I was just sitting there and I was like, why would I not just apply?
Not? Yeah.
Like I can always say no. I'm just gonna apply. But
I would start watching it.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's the only way I'll start watching Survivors if you go on it.
Oh my God. But yeah, so anyways, there is something that is very attractive about that idea of like pushing yourself. Like I have like anxieties right now. I also like don't like to be dirty. And like I don't like there's certain things like, but if you're on Survivor and you like slay on Survivor a little bit to any extent, even if you're there just for like a week, you come home and you're like, I am a different person. I have that less anxiety. Hopefully you're okay being dirty, things like that.
I would rather die than be uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I want to change that.
But I do want to change it. But like, I would rather die.
Right. I get it.
Than like be a little uncomfy
and
like have a little tummy ache. No,
dude, or hungry for like more than a couple hours. Take me out. If I'm hungry for more than a couple hours,
take me out, or I'm taking bitches out. Like it's over.
100%. Yes. So, and like, I think we saw that a lot with MJ is like that. She's like literally like just a challenge of her push. She knows she doesn't do shit like that.
No, it's very inspiring.
It's so
like
cool.
actually inspiring.
Yeah.
But I will say the one thing about the challenge that I hated was like CT. Just
Tell
being
me,
like,
I agree.
Just
it's a little too much, too alpha.
Too alpha. I get it. You're the only guy left. You have some complex about that. But I just think he kind of was striving to get all of the what was it?
The detours.
He was striving to get all those, and then was like weirdly shady about everyone else's non-involvement in the I'm just like, no, you asked to do all that.
I know.
No one else was like dying to do those.
I was also like really surprised that they didn't say no to one of the $5,000 ones.
Right.
I'm like, say no to one of those. Like, it's
Right.
only $5,000. Like, say no to one of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
for the time's sake. But he was very, very hands-on. And like, he was like, he gave like dad who's like, I'll just
Big
do it
time,
myself.
big
I'll
time.
just do it myself. It's
Well,
like,
yeah.
whoa, what?
Nothing.
Well,
I was gonna nothing.
oh,
It was giving something at the cabin. Though,
I know, exactly. It's the swan dive into
Yes,
the lake.
yes.
Which
Which it is
wild.
it's just very dad
It's very
behavior.
dad, yep.
Which is fine, but I don't like dads. So
Yeah. Cheers. Yes. So that was that.
yeah.
I love how like Kate wasn't doing shit when they're on the boat or their
Period.
ship,
As she
and she's
shouldn't.
like not pulling the thing. And then like much later in the episode, I think it was actually maybe even during the reunion, she was like, "Yeah, I just like didn't want to like fight for money I knew I wasn't gonna win." Because like it was once Sandra got a unanimous vote and like Kate was the last one on that table,
And
it
I
was
would
so
be-
obvious
I
she was
would
the
do the same
traitor.
thing.
Yeah, she didn't give a fuck. And then Alan coming, it was like, Kate, come on, put your back into it. And she was like, ugh, and like
I will say though, like if something is not your strong suit, get out of the way.
100%. That's
Like,
a good player.
Just
Yeah.
get out of the way and let the people. I would be mortified if I was just in the way and
Yeah.
couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Kill myself.
I can't believe they did it though. I did not think they were gonna raise that mast. It was an exciting finish.
Yeah, it was.
Really
and MJ
good.
was putting her back into it.
Dude.
More than
Trash out.
CJ?
Oh,
Is it?
CT.
CT.
CT. There's CJ.
I don't care.
CT.
He's. I did love that picture you sent.
Dude, this little photo shoot he did, he was a sexy Mexi.
Yes, he was so.
I'm so sorry. I thought of the worst thing that rhymed.
He was a
Sexy
sexy.
Wexy.
Where was
Sexy
he? January
Wexy.
6th.
Okay. Can we tell that joke or no?
Which one?
Joke about them at the end of the show.
Go
Trishelle
ahead.
and CT.
Who gives a shit?
Well, yeah, I guess I don't give a shit. It was just like funny because like something about the ending.
Sound about white.
And it was just like really weird.
It
And
sounded
like
about
when
white.
they just had a picture of them like watching the fireworks behind the castle. And we were like, that was them on January 6th, like watching the fucking fireworks. Like they're probably both great people, but it just is like something about it is so uncomfortable.
You have to laugh
Yeah.
that these two white people voted out
Every person of color.
every person of color. Like it's crazy. I mean, you have to say it.
100%.
And Peppermint says, something similar in the
Yes.
Reunion, as
I'm
she fucking
so
should.
happy she spoke to that too. And again,
100%.
Trishelle had shit to say.
And I feel like the fact that even Peppermint, who was literally there
Yeah.
and like experienced it, has something to say about it means something.
Well,
Like it
it's-
doesn't mean nothing.
100%. And it's
Like
something
I am joking a little bit, but I'm also like not really.
No, especially when you talk and then we think about like any sort of like othering or anything that anytime you can like other someone, like
Right.
it does go to that, and it happens a lot
Yeah.
in Survivor. A lot of contestants
Yes,
talk
because
about it in Survivor.
reality TV mirrors real life.
I
Real
know.
life is in America
Yeah.
racist.
100%.
So it's
yeah.
going to be mirrored in reality TV.
Yes.
But, I mean, maybe they weren't thinking that, but it didn't. That's the whole point.
Yeah, and
That's
there's
literally
also
the
like
reason.
part of it too that like with Trishelle specifically, she was like, I remember like it was halfway through the season, she was like, when she just was gunning for shields every time because she thought that she needed one every time. I'm like, no one gives a fuck about you, respectfully.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares.
No one's thinking about you.
Like, no one's thinking about you like that. But it's like that main charactering of herself that was so nauseating.
Mm-hmm.
And then like,
Hard to watch.
dude, and then like, of course, like they sent her their entire friendship throughout the whole show. And part of that is editing, but part of that is like,
Yeah.
it's like, and the fact that I'm sorry, they never once said that they actually thought MJ was a traitor. They just kicked MJ off because they wanted to split the money, and they both wanted to win together because that made for a better story for them. It was
good story for sure. Like,
crazy.
I mean, that's grift, and that is if you look up grifting in on the dictionary, you will find a picture of them at January 6th.
It was so uncomfortable.
I mean, it is like really. And I the other thing I will say. Well, no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I loved when MJ was like, you could tell Alan wasn't that happy either that you guys won. Iconic. I was so happy when she said that at the reunion.
Like, yes.
I love how she doesn't want to be mean, but she finds her little moments to be like, I'm going to say this. Yeah. And I'm like,
and another thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have another thing to say about reunion. But do you want to say anything else about the episode?
No, I mean, it moved pretty fast. Like, I was really happy with it. I mean, it was like up and down. I thought Kate did. Oh, I will say, I really love how Kate was like, she was like, yeah, I didn't want to take the money because like I actually give a shit about these people. And that's
she came in at like the middle of the show. It's nice to have her acknowledge and be like, I just came in at the middle of the show. Like, I wasn't ever expecting to like take anything.
Yeah. And that's something that I'm interested in seeing with season 3 of Traitors, is because like they really struck gold with this cast.
Yeah. It's a good
perfect casting. And like they all genuinely loved each other, and there was so much love in that castle. So which again, like if Kate came in halfway and didn't want to take the money from them because she like gave a shit, and she's like yeah, if I didn't like them I would take it, but like I'm happy that it's going like to friends, and like that's so sweet. It was just like very endearing, and like again a little like cry moment. I don't know, it was just like I thought it was a very emotionally satisfying finale.
Yeah.
And even despite the fact that I don't like Trishelle and CT's cool or whatever, but like I didn't love that, like that I hated that MJ got kicked out. That was like heartbreaking. It still was an emotionally satisfying finale, which I think is a testament to like the cast, the crew, the editing, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I agree, but I'm still mad.
Oh yeah. 100%.
I did just watch it this morning, to be fair. But like
hours ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's something about it just felt really dirty. Like if it was anyone else,
it was MJ's the most innocent person ever.
Like, that I don't know. Something about that feels really evil and dark side to me.
It was weird.
Like, and it's there's no way they did it.
You know what I thought?
They did that, knowing what was going to happen.
Yeah, and the proof is in the pudding, because they never once in the reunion said that they actually thought MJ was a traitor. They're like pleading the fifth. They're not talking about it, which means they actually just did it to do it.
Yeah.
And I even think it's kind of a tinfoil hat, theory. Put them on.
I'm ready.
I kind of think that Trishelle didn't actually doubt CT.
And just did it.
For like the drama and did it to make it look less pointed towards MJ, like all this stuff, and they came up with that line of, it was so hard to put his name down the first time, I couldn't do it a second time. Like, dude, it's so convenient, and it feels so rehearsed. It felt so rehearsed from her. She's very, very calculated, and like, it's just the worst vibe.
Yeah,
it's such a bad vibe.
It's really, and the way, I think, was it in the episode or in the reunion when MJ was like, I played the game how I like am myself. Like I'm loyal and I'm genuine. And you can really tell.
Yes.
Like you can tell that for sure. And you can't say that about
other people.
Others.
Okay. Yeah, agreed. Okay, so reunion. First and foremost, what was the thing you were going to say that's kind of related to that end bit?
I forgot.
Okay, great. We'll come back to you I'm sure. I want to say, like, this is like a thing that Survivor does. Like, for the reunion, it's only the people who make the jury. Too? Yeah, it happens like actually right after they make the vote. Now, like it used to be, they had a reunion like on stage months after. Mm-hmm. Now it's like they vote who wins the million, and then they all circle up, bring in pizza and champagne, and do it right there, which is super fun and different. Mm-hmm. But anyways, with Survivor, the reunion is only ever the jury, which is like the final 12 people in the game. So instead of having 22 people on stage at a finale, including people that the audience doesn't have relationships with, and it's like boring to have them there, it's like they didn't talk to like a lot of the people on stage at the reunion for the Traitors. And like when they were talking to certain characters that like I didn't really know that well, I like didn't care. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think I just like wish that like people took a page out of Survivor's book in terms of like just have like the final like 15 there, because those are the ones we care about. Even at
Traitors, I was like, who the fuck?
I don't remember
half of these people. Like I actually don't remember, which is
it's not a knock on
not
them.
Shady. No, I just literally don't remember. But what's really interesting is Love Island does not do reunions.
I wonder why.
They just have a live final and that's it.
But do they have the cast there?
Yeah.
And are they reacting to it?
They ask a couple questions of cast who have left.
Oh, interesting.
But it's not. I guess it's kind of a reunion, but it's not as because it's the finale at the same time, so you're like waiting to see who wins.
Yes.
But I don't know. Reunions are very interesting. I do think people do reunions too soon, which I understand. Like it's because you have to keep it relevant.
Yeah.
And like not everyone's gonna care like 2-3 weeks.
Right.
After.
Which I mean, we probably won't.
100%. I will forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But it I don't know. I would like to see it.
I would too.
Even like an unofficial something.
I also really like how they kept Alan a part of the finale because I was really worried that I was like, well, he's just not going to be there at all. But like that send off to Andy Khan. I mean, obviously Andy is not my favorite person in the world. Neither is he for you.
No.
But I liked how it was like Alan Cumming got to introduce the finale. He introduced Andy. It ended with Alan Cumming too. Like that was a win. Smart production choice.
Did he say why he didn't want to do it?
Yeah.
It makes sense. I don't see him as a reunion host. I'll be honest. Like I just think he's too like theatrical and not cutthroat enough. Not that Andy Cohen is. Obviously.
Yeah, he's softened up over the years. In a lot of ways, thank God.
Yeah, for sure. But I just couldn't. I do think maybe Alan Cumming is a little too close to the cast. Maybe that's why. It seems like I don't know.
Yeah, he talked about it on some show, like the Today Show or something, and he was saying that he likes to be like a character in the castle. Like that's where he lives. That's where his character lives. Yeah, and that's what it is. And that's all. I think that was also like why he was like he's asking Fergus to prepare his hot cocoa at the end of the episode is because that's where he wants the audience to think he lives there and everyone comes at his it's so good. Yeah. It's so good.
It is very good.
Yeah, just the Andy Cohen. I just wish we could have got someone a little bit more neutral. You know what I mean? Like Andy Cohen is just so bravo and so like
boring.
He's so boring. He's not very good at it.
He's not good at it.
Yeah.
I don't know who, but not him.
Agreed.
Again, I'm not like a huge reality. Like I don't know who does that kind of stuff.
I know. I don't either.
Bitch, I would watch Anderson Cooper before.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I also almost just wish that like they would just put them all in a fucking room and have producers ask random questions. Do you know what I mean? Like have them like self-direct a reunion. Like just have them all hang out. Like that would be so much more interesting. You know what I mean? Like it's a little too staged. Any sort of reunion is. But yeah, okay. So that was like general thoughts on that. But okay.
What are your main reunion points that you
My
want
main reunion points are obviously Peppermint bringing up the truth.
Yeah, that was like pretty much at the beginning.
Yes, and I'm glad it was. And like I have to say, I love MJ so much because MJ was so upset when Peppermint got kicked off, and also she was like so there for Peppermint, like when Peppermint was talking, and then also Phaedra too. Phaedra also
obviously.
was like
that is green flag behavior. Like that is why
incredible.
They're the queens of the season.
100%.
Like
100%.
And I think Parvati was very close. It seems in the beginning when Peppermint was there. It seems like it's like I'm like, girl, that's red flag. I mean, red flags, green flags from them, and others.
Dude, it's so crazy because like it's like and then it's part of it it's just all crazy because especially like when you and I were talking about like how you would react or wouldn't react to certain things. If I was Trishelle in the situation where like Peppermint reacted quote unquote big, which is crazy.
Yeah.
To me, like that's how we all act. Do you know what I mean? As queer people. And there's also other elements like to it, like racially that I can't relate to, but I just mean like culturally, queerly, I do understand like it's just you're just having fucking fun. You know what I mean? But it's like Trishelle's like
you and I are probably the loudest bitches
100%.
Like around.
Yeah.
So I do think, and what I thought was really interesting was when Peppermint says, most people don't know a trans person in real life.
Yes.
And not that I know Trishelle, but
I doubt she.
I don't know.
I don't think she has trans friends.
No, I mean, and whatever. Everyone's different.
Yeah,
but
she's not a bad person for it. But.
No, I just think that I think Peppermint said that for a reason.
100%. And it's like, it's a little bit hard that like, I just couldn't believe that Trishelle wasn't like, maybe this is asking too much, but I would have loved it if she was like, Peppermint, I'm sorry. Even if she feels like she's already apologized, it would have been fucking cool if Trishelle was just like, Peppermint, that was out of pocket.
Yeah.
And I reacted too strong to you and like made you a target. And I'm sorry for that.
And I do think it's interesting that Peppermint's identity was so heavily about why she was voted off. You can say that it's not, but it clearly was, and she clearly felt that way, so that's valid too. But other queer, I mean, Parvati's queer.
Yes.
That was not, I mean, maybe she wasn't out when she was on the show, but whatever. That was not like a reason she was voted off.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yep.
And you can tell that certain people were uncomfortable with Peppermint's existence
100%.
like in the show.
100%. Yep. I was happy John said something at the reunion though, because like transphobia is also rampant in a lot of ways in the UK.
Oh my God.
So obviously like everywhere, unfortunately, but like very much the UK. So it was nice that John said something supportive.
At least
that's a win for
sure.
Peepaw.
Right. One of not many.
Maybe one of one.
Yeah.
So Trichelle's just like not giving ally. I just like don't understand how in that situation you don't say something. Maybe she did and they edited it out. Yeah. But why the fuck would they cut that out? Like there's no way she didn't say shit.
Maybe it was so stupid that she had to cut it.
Oh my God.
I don't know what else there really is to say about it. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And like it makes me what she said was really important in that it makes me want to see more, you know, people who are like us and have similar identities as us on reality TV. But I'm also like, I'm scared because of how you are treated by your fellow contestants and by the people watching.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's a really tiptoe-ish thing to have to think about. I mean, obviously Drag Race is like its own part of culture and the internet and all that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if, you know, regular you know what I mean.
Majority, like
crazy
dominant
culture.
Dominant. Yeah.
Right. Not that you're regulars over here.
2 regulars on the mics.
Right.
I will say I love the idea of if Peppermint would be comfortable with it, Alan inviting her back to the castle for season 3. And I don't know if she'd be comfortable with that. You know, I can only imagine, like, I don't know, that would, like, as a white person, that would rock my world.
Yeah.
So I don't know what she feels about it, but, like, it would be cool if, like, she was comfortable with it and, like, wanted to, like, because she's a super fan of the show. So, like, I think there could be, like, a really fun and healing arc if they brought her back for season 3.
I agree. I think people would find a way to be really shitty about that as well. But you can't control, that's reality TV. You cannot control how people react to things.
Well, and it's always a reflection of the culture. And sorry,
and it's
but
literally
like,
just
yeah, it sucks. It's awful. But also you never know. Like if like there's like a lot of fucking cool down ass cultured ally people, then it could be totally fine. But I don't know. Who knows?
Wait, so does season 3 come out next year? Is it yearly?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Like neither of us knew the Traitors until this year.
Right.
We should figure that out. I feel like they're gonna probably like get going pretty. I know that they're wrapping pre-production right now, but they haven't cast yet. So like they're doing like pre-pro in terms of like planning all the logistics and everything, and like that they're almost locked on pre-pro. Wow. But then they're gonna
That's crazy.
Apparently,
because the finale just aired yesterday. Last night.
Yeah, but like as of like a week or 2 ago, like there are celebrities out there that are hitting up the casting production, like asking to be a part of Traitors.
Trisha Paytas.
Dude, she has to be on this show. She would be phenomenal.
I will die.
It's like almost like
I will cover every episode with you.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
100%.
I think she there's a high chance that she's on the show.
I 100% agree because the amount of just like the memeability that they clearly want and strive for. That's how this season got so popular. Is like, I mean, MJ obviously and Phaedra.
Yeah.
And they even talked about it in the reunion. They were like, you guys were like all over the internet. Like they clearly value that as they should. I mean, Trisha, that's like ballpark.
It is. And like the other thing too is like they have to have gays on production who obviously know who Trisha is. It's a very like online culture show.
Miss Janelle.
Miss Janelle literally said her name. So like the producers know that Trisha's penis's name is floated out. It'd be so smart. And also it'd be cool to have a YouTuber on there. It would be cool.
It would be really smart.
Yeah.
And someone who was on reality TV.
100%. Yeah. Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Yeah. So it's like she has experience. Oh, she's just such a perfect. She's perfect. Would you want her to be
what? A traitor?
I cannot decide. That's a whole episode.
I can't.
I'd want her to be a faithful because I think she would be funnier to watch trying to sniff out who a traitor is.
Yes.
And funnier to watch her like defend herself.
I think personally, if she were a traitor,
it'd be a little too on the nose if she was a traitor. Yeah.
It would be too. It just would not go.
It'd be too goofy.
It'd be way too goofy.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you? Would you want to be a faithful or a traitor?
Oh.
If you're on the show.
I just want to be
Alan Cumming.
Yeah. I just want to like be like, hey girls in my little outfits. I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
I just feel like faithfuls are so annoying. And like
I know they really are annoying.
I root for traitors more. Like I'm just like, well, yeah, that's what is interesting about the show is
it's not called the Faithfuls.
Yeah, it's not called the Faithfuls. Hello. It would be, but I don't know if I have the capacity to be a traitor. Like I'm so bad at lying. It's actually
I think you have it in you.
So I'm a liar.
No, I think you just have I think you have the capacity to bullshit.
I don't think I'm that smart.
Yeah, but yeah.
I don't know. It takes a lot.
Yeah.
Not that I don't know. It takes too much thinking. I just want to have fun.
You'd be better than Dan though.
I think your dog would be better than
Soko would be better than Dan.
What about you?
Agreed. I don't want to be a traitor 100%. Like not even a question. I would be so fucking good at it. To be honest with you, like I would be so good at it. Like I would pay money to go on that show. Like I'm so passionate about being a traitor. I would so
like
good
to be a faithful who turned into a traitor like Kate.
Yes,
like
halfway through.
I could be Kate.
100%.
I could do that.
That's the ultimate way to do it. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I wouldn't want to be a faithful. Yeah, I'd be too stressful.
Faithfuls are annoying.
They're
annoying. So like I'm gonna be it's like the Peters. I'm like, girl,
yeah,
keep that. Anyway.
Yeah, Peter off. Yeah.
Did you have any other reunion?
Well, just like I just hated the fact that like again, MJ didn't get any validation. Like not one person said, MJ, sorry that happened to you. MJ, you have every right to be a little bit upset.
Crazy.
Like she played that game with everyone from the beginning and they all worked together the whole game. But just because Trishelle and CT have a past, they're going to vote her off and just have it with each other. Fuck that.
Well, and I'm sorry. I think I will take this to my grave of being upset about this particular. This and the peppermint. I'm like, that's hard stuff to like forget.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it is very, again, reflective of culture.
Yeah.
But I personally take it very badly when people say that it's just a game, whatever. You shouldn't feel this upset about it.
Crazy.
And like, it's so, I don't know, especially again, as we talked about earlier, someone as like genuine and true as MJ, who like literally I don't think had a problem with anyone that we saw.
Literally just like sweetheart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who like, wanted the best for everyone. And also maybe it was just a game to you, but I do think she like learned a lot. It seems like she learned a lot about herself.
I know.
And like
that's the ultimate win though.
Yeah, of course.
But also fuck Trishelle.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. But I do think most of, at least what I've seen on the internet, most people feel like we feel.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That yeah.
I mean, and I don't know. I'm not the type of person to like tweet that I hate Trishelle. That's crazy. I will say it on a podcast though. But I just sending internet hate is like not cool.
Oh my God, gross.
Let's grow up.
Literally gross. Yeah, but the thing about talking about it on a podcast is it's easier for us to be like, fuck Trishelle, but at the same time, like, we don't know
There's
her.
context.
She's probably fine,
There's
whatever.
Context in the way that there isn't in like a tweet or something.
And that's what social media loves about itself. That's what the companies like because it keeps people angry. And invested.
Yeah, but I do think there's a lot of love for MJ for what that's worth. I just know for me, this is how I feel. not cool to be invalidated that way.
No.
Even if it's just a game, which you all took so fucking seriously.
I cannot
when it comes to yourself.
I hope they just edited it out. But I want to look up MJ on Cameo and pay. You know, people like to pay like $100 to fucking DM someone.
Yeah,
I want to pay money to DM her just to be like, hey, just so you know,
love you.
You are so valid.
Yeah.
In that being a not fun experience for you.
Totally. Yeah.
Why would she enjoy that? She was. How do you walk away from it and be like, oh, it's just a game. Of course they voted me off so they could split the money with each other and like invalidate me. Fuck that. How can you do that?
It is really just like also like so you get to feel happy and how you feel about it, but I don't get to feel how I like. It's January 6th.
Yeah, I agree.
Where
and
were
also
they?
like it was so gross how like CT. It's just so gross how happy they were too.
Yeah.
Like I would feel so, I mean but that's like the game player thing. Like they probably just don't feel bad doing that.
Yeah.
Which to an extent is okay. Like I get it. Like they've done these types of shows forever and ever and ever. But please have the kindness in your heart to at least let her know at the reunion that she's not crazy for feeling that way.
No.
That's all.
I mean, and I do think yeah, that's why it's interesting to have all different types of people from different types of reality shows come together because some are more emotionally focused, which has its benefits, and some are more, challenge focused, which has their whatever. I'm just pissed.
I know. Can I say one of my favorite moments at the finale was the final round table and MJ, it's when they're all voting Sandra and like MJ's like, I'm going to be absolutely devastated if it's not you. And Sandra's like, it's not me.
It's not me.
You're going to be devastated.
Yeah.
Like she's just like responding to, and then MJ just goes and puts her hand over her face. And then she goes, this is the hardest one I've ever had to do. It's like, it is, oh my God, I love her.
Meanwhile, Trishelle's like, I'm just going with the crowd. I'm just going with everyone.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
Trishelle's like, I just wanted to finish this with CT because we said that's how we played this game. But it's like, it's just not how I
But
could.
you're
I couldn't
voting
play the
for
game
him
like that.
1 second prior. Crazy.
Okay, it's again
fake.
like
It's giving fake.
It's giving fake, and it's also giving like.
I love you, Trishelle. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm debating whether I even want to like say this, but it's just like that person in like a high school environment, who like does certain things to get that validation and attention.
And like, is it worth it to win?
No. Do you need the money?
$100,000.
No.
That's a fuck ton
and also
of
like
money.
no one cares about the title of winners of Traitors. Like that's a title you can share evenly. Like, and also I think it's more iconic to have multiple faithfuls win. That shows strength in you all being faithfuls.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the fucking thing.
The whole point isn't to get to like the final two. What the fuck are you guys doing?
I think hating someone is the same thing as loving them.
We want the best. We want the best.
Congrats on your $100,000 that will be taxed. So maybe $30,000. I don't know. Like
that is funny.
I mean,
do you have anything else to say about the finale?
The finale or reunion,
or either, or both, or Traitors in general?
I don't know. I realize how dumb I sound talking about this.
I know.
Because it has its value for sure. And I do think people who watch reality TV have an interest in human behavior and culture and all that. But also it's just a show.
Yeah, and it's just fun. And it's stupid.
It's just fun, but I do think real emotions and feelings can come out of it for us and for the people who we are watching, and that should be respected and not just fucking thrown away.
I agree, especially because if we're talking about reality TV shows like Traitors and like Survivor 2, it's like it is a highlight, it is a capture of what culture is like at that moment.
Yeah.
So because we are a part of culture, we are going to have intense reactions. So it's like if we're watching microaggressions, we're going to have reactions to that because it's something that we experience and watch friends experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like the same thing with like, just like, when cool, nice, chill people like MJ get shafted, we're going to be upset because like we strive to be good, chill people, and we know good, chill people, and we would want that to happen to someone that we know is good and chill.
Right.
So yeah, it's just, of course we're going to get upset and get heated, but
Ekin
Ekin-Su, Parvati,
so
Sandra, Phaedra,
all my
and
girls
MJ.
look slay.
Everyone looked great. And you know what? Trishelle looked great.
Of course.
It was giving Hunger Games Girl on Fire.
Gorge. Literally her and what the fuck is his name? CT are
PETA and Katniss. Dude, 100%. They okay, and then part of me, like the edit definitely like I think about like I like to think about edit. I like to think about editing it's like important. Retrospectively because they edited that show to prime us for their win.
Yes.
Like they really leaned into like their relationships up and down and all around so that we could have somewhat of experience at the end.
Yeah.
But it's just not necessary.
That's the edit.
But maybe if I was like a fan of, what were they on, Big Brother or whatever, like I would care more.
The challenge, which I learned was Real World actually before.
Oh, really? I thought it, okay, interesting. I've heard of the challenge. And obviously I've heard of the Real World, but I didn't know they were related.
I think they are. Anyway.
Who knows? Again, we are not reality girls, but you know what? We are living in our reality.
We are MJ girls.
We are, yeah. It's MJ's reality.
And we're just living in it.
Period. And it's an honor. And it's an honor to live in MJ's world. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for hearing.
This was so fun. I can't wait for our season 3 finale.
Oh God. I'm scared.
Maybe we'll be talking about Trisha Paytas.
We'll have our tinfoil hats on. That's gonna get bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's only gonna get worse now that we're on a reality TV kick. Okay. This season of Survivor's slaying so far.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna try to get you to watch it.
Right.
But I'll always show you highlights. Yeah, love you. Thank you for this. Lila, what?
Love you like a sister.
Oh, is that a thing? Is that a TikTok thing?
Turn the shit off.
Okay, bye.